How's it going, everybody? It is Pilot Flame, and we are back. It's been so long for the Game Week 1 preview stream for Fantasy Premier League. We got the new graphics up, as you can see, all behind me and whatnot. Game Week 1, it's where you get the fresh team, the fresh start, and hopefully the fresh dreams of being number 1 in fantasy come the end of Game Week 38. That's what we all dream of. But we look to obviously get as good of a finish as possible. But today, we are going to look at what my team is currently. Made a few tweaks to it. We're going to do what we normally do on the previews, which is check out my predictions, differentials, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, we're going to do it a little bit differently this season. I'm going to kind of do it freestyle, as it were, on the fly. No more notepad. I think I might be able to use Epic Pen. I might be able to draw it on the screen and then post it afterwards. But we will see. I'll obviously keep it on a notepad off to the side for later, so that I can keep it, for what predictions I basically had, so we don't forget them. But yeah, we're going to take a look at that. We're going to see what potential lineup I'm looking at and all that sort of good stuff. And yeah, without further ado, let's talk about our partners for this season. So, if you don't know, we have been partnered up with Fantasy Football Scout, the leading in all fantasy football, whether it be, stats tables, whether it be, whatever you need, they have it. I mean, you can see the huge list over my shoulder here. All this stuff here. 150 exclusive members, articles, 3-player comparison tools new this season. You can create various different tables of various different stats, powered by Opta stats as well. It is fantastic, so use the link. It is pinned on my Twitter, so make sure to go check that out, or you can check on any YouTube video. I have the link in the description over there as well. I'm actually going to make a note to put it here on Twitch as well, so we'll make it even easier for you. So let me write that down. Twitch FF Scout. Bang, there we go. Got it all sorted. So it'll be there next time as well. So yeah, make sure to check it out. The link will give you 20% off as well. That is an exclusive offer. It helps out me, helps out you, and it can help elevate your fantasy football game. But now, with that being said, let's get into it. So, we got a little bit of a different layout going on here today. Got a different layout. So we got, as you can see, way up up that way. You can see we got the game week points, game week ranked, overall points, overall rank, last transfers in the chat, and all that sort of stuff will be just above me. You can see our new league code as well, so make sure to join that. That's also over on Twitter as well, and on any YouTube video if you look in the description. So you can check that out as well. So make sure to go do that if you haven't joined up already. But yeah, so this is, ignore the stats over on the side. I was just using those as placeholders in terms of just getting things all laid out. But I'm gonna see if this actually works. Does this work? No, it doesn't. Okay, I'll have to fix that for next time. I can't use Epic Pen, unfortunately, unless I do screen capture, I think, which is a bit annoying. But what we'll do is I'll do the I'll just put it in a notepad, and then what I'll do is post it in the chat afterwards. So let me just close out Epic Pen. I thought I'd be able to do it, but when you do a screen, like a specific window capture, Epic Pen doesn't work. You have to do a screen capture if you want to see it. So, anywho, this is the team that we have up on the screen. So some new developments today. Some new developments. Tsimikas, for those that you don't know, is Liverpool's backup left back. Now he's priced at $4 million because he never plays, because Robertson's always fit and available. But he got injured a couple of days ago, and I think he could be a good option. Like what Mono says in the chat, I think he could be a good option at $4 million. He's either going to be coming back game week 3 or game week 4, based on what Klopp says in for Robertson. Now, whether he comes back game week 3 or 4, if you want to get him for game weeks 1 and 2, and then play a defender after that, it's probably okay. So if we look at game week 1 and 2, we can see Norwich and Burnley. Those are fantastic. If Robertson comes back for Chelsea at home, we don't really care too much, to be honest, because they could be conceding in that game because Chelsea's kind of good. And then Leeds away after the international break. I mean, you could set up transfers to get rid of him after that, after you've already made money on him, because he could be doing quite well. Because he got, I think it was 2 assists today, in 2 of the goals. So, yeah, his value could jump. His value could definitely jump. That is true. So we will have to see on that one. But then by game week 5, 6, Robertson should be back if he comes back as per normal. But like if we look at some of the defenders, so I have Ayling currently in my team. Ayling plays Burnley away in game week 3. So if he doesn't play, we have Ayling coming in. And I would probably play Ayling over Tsimikas anyway. We play Trent game in, game out because of how good he can be. And he is that premium defender to do so. So yeah. And then if it's game week 4, I mean, we can already make sure that we have plans to fix that anyway. And then Ayling's just going to get played a lot if we have him in the team. So... Hi Sherry, how's it going? Decided to fit in Jota as a third Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, Jota is, or should be, at least an okay option off the start. An option instead of TAA or that matters. No, definitely not an option over TAA. TAA is about as nailed in as probably Mo Salah is. Like, it's Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then you pick your third Liverpool player if you want one, right? I just put this in here as like an experiment. So my original team had Buendia instead of Grealish and Digne here. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, Trent, I mean, he's in 30% of teams. He should be more. He's just ridiculous. Hey Zaka, how's it going? Glad that you could join us. But yeah, if Tsimikas plays 2 games, he's 4.0. Just make sure you have a defender on the bench. So, like, I have Ayling as an example. Ayling will come in for Burnley away, and then I can sort something over the international break, to sell on Tsimikas and bring in somebody else. Now, if we look at the transfer screen here, I have 0.5 million in the bank as well. I have 0.5 million in the bank. So I've done that specifically, and I'm trying to keep that because I want to be flexible on if there's like a bandwagon, basically. If there's a bandwagon, I want to be able to jump on it if I need to. Have I set a personal aim for this year? Win FPL, of course. You always got to win FPL, but definitely do a lot better than what I did last year. That's for sure, which shouldn't be hard to do, I would hope. Yeah. Win FPL is always the goal. And then we adjust them slowly. But yeah, Omobamidele is another player at 4 million that could also be starting, potentially as well. He's been playing a lot of minutes in preseason, and instead of playing Ayling versus Liverpool, I could play him away to Arsenal, which isn't the worst fixture in the world. So, I mean, if he does play, then cool. But we can always, like I said, use that 0.5 million and then go someplace else if we need to. That is the options that we have. Keep spending my bank hard to keep the money in. It's true. Now, Hover's another one. He could be playing as well. We don't know. We don't know. I think Wolves are going to be a bit more attacking. And I think that one's definitely temporary. Whereas Omobamidele could be permanent. He could be a permanent fixture in there. But I'm actually going to show you a team. This is a team. Now, Kane is supposedly going to be playing in Game Week 1. But he could easily be going to City as of Game Week 2. So, if he does play against City, maybe he scores one. Who knows, right? And then if he goes to City in the next game week, then cool. But there is a team with Tsimikas that I found where you can keep Trent, you can keep Bruno, you can keep Salah, and it looks quite good. And it goes something like this. So, the back four is the same. You get rid of Grealish, you get rid of Ings, and I believe you get rid of Barnes, I think. And then we put Mr. Harry Kane in there. And then we then have 11 million. So what we would have is a 4.5. So I don't know. Let's go Brownhill as an example. And then you could put in a 6.5 million midfielder. Now you could save if you wanted the extra 0.5. If you wanted the extra 0.5, you could go for Sarr or Harrison or somebody like that too, or even Smith Rowe, because Smith Rowe has a good fixture off the start as well. So we'll just put in Harrison, just because, right? If you wanted to keep the 0.5. Yeah, only the win knows for where Kane is. So with this, we have 0.5 million left in the bank, as you can see there, right? So for the start of the season, you can be playing Trent, Tsimikas, Shaw. You can be playing Harrison, Salah, Fernandes, Benrahma, Kane, and Antonio. And then you can kind of pick the defender you want. Actually, no. What was my... There was a way where I was able to get... No, I know what it was. I think it was Tony I got in here. I think I got Tony in here when I was messing around with it. So it was Tony. Can't remember how I did it now. I think it was Tony instead of Antonio, I think it was something like this. And then I had like Sarr as the fourth midfielder. Oh, and then I can go Harrison here. Or you can go like Smith Rowe and what's his name, and a 6.5 if you want. So you can go something like that if you wanted to go with Kane. You still have your goalkeeper still fine. You still have 3 players at the back with cover on the bench. You still have all playing midfielders, and you can go Kane and Tony. But obviously it means you can't go other strikers. Could you go Rafinha? Yeah, you could. You could take out Sarr and go to Smith Rowe, who has a good opening fixture. If you don't want to play Rafinha versus United, you could just stick him on the bench for that first game. And then Smith Rowe can be your kind of bench player after the fact. So basically, game week 1, you could play... well, in game week 1, you'd have to play 3-5-2, actually. So you play Trent, Tsimikas, Shaw, Rafinha, Smith Rowe, Salah, Fernandes, Benrahma, Kane, and Tony. You would do the same thing at game week 2, and then game week 3, you could bench Tsimikas, and then play all the different players. I'm pretty sure I had it slightly different, but it's doable, and that's mainly because the likes of Benrahma at 6 million I think is going to be fantastic, and Tsimikas is obviously 4 million. But so let me put the team back to the way it was. We'll fix that back. Let's take a look at the chat. Surprise, surprise, Kane. Only the wind knows. Yep. It's, I know Daniel Levy's a very smart businessman, and I don't think he's going to be selling Kane to Man City and having him play against him. I just don't think that's going to happen. Is Deeney not decent value? I mean, at 5.5, is he going to play every game? We don't know, really. We just don't know. But I mean, Deeney's been in the Premier League before. If he gets 10 goals in a season, it's probably okay. And from a 5.5 million forward, I think you can probably take that. The one player that was in here was Pedro, but I don't know where he's gone. Maybe he went out on loan or something, and I just don't know about it. But Bachmann's also in consideration too for for our 4.5 goalkeeper slot too. I have a 5 million in the bank and don't know what to do. Really like my team as it is. Having 5 million in the bank's not bad. Also, yeah, if you didn't know, like I said before previously, we are partnered with Fantasy Football Scout. So if you haven't gotten your membership already, it's still 20% off. You can see the link in the chat. It's just above me. Use that link. I'm not sure if I put it in the Twitch bio. If I haven't, I will. But it is in the chat now as well. So make sure to check that out if you haven't done so. Now, we're gonna take a look at the games here. And we're gonna do some predictions like we normally do on the preview show. I'm just writing them all out because I thought Epic Pen would work, but it's not going to. So normally I put it on a notepad and show it up on the screen. So that's not going to work the way I have Streamlabs set up because of I have it as windowed mode. Mind you, I might be able to make the notepad come up. So we'll see that in a second, hopefully. Norwich and Liverpool. Predictions, Pog. Damn right. Damn right. Goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, forward, and then clean sheet is what we do. Clean sheet. Now, let me see. I'm just going to see if I can add window capture. I'm going to call it predictions notepad. I'm going to see if I can add it. And that's definitely not it. That's it. Lovely. We're going to make it automatic. It has to be beautiful. Can I make this bigger? I'm going to see if I can make this a little bit on the bigger side, and I'm going to put it over here so that you all can see it. That should be big enough, so if I type in here, you guys can see it nicely. I like this a little bit better. This setup's nice. Now let me just put the predictions notepad. Where can I put it? I'm gonna move it down. Move it down. Went down too far. So it's got to go above FPL team. Cool. There we go. Right. The predictions table. It's legendary across the game. Holding 5 million for an early transfer like Lukaku or Kane if Man City. Yeah, actually, I'm going to be doing my Premier League predictions on Friday as well. So make sure to check that out as well. So we're going to be going through everything. We're going to be looking at top goal scorer, player of the season, young player of the season, standings, all that stuff. So I found somebody had already made a tier list, which is nice of them. So I'm going to use that. Right. Brentford versus Arsenal. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. We got it all ready to go. This Friday. Friday the 13th. Somebody's going to be unlucky, I think. And I don't think it's going to be a team that has a B for a logo, to be honest. I think it's going to be Arsenal. That might be unlucky. So we got Zaka says 3-1. Mono says 1-1 or 2-1. 2-0 Brentford. I think it could be a close affair. I think both teams... I don't think Arsenal's very good defensively. I think Ben White improves them. But I don't think they've showed me enough to improve the defense. I don't think they've shown me enough to improve the defense. So I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with a 1-1, actually. I think both teams will score. Maybe Ivan Toney's on the score sheet. Maybe Mbuemo, somebody like that. I think Arsenal are good enough to score. But I think first game out the gate, Arsenal might be a bit nervy. Brentford, they're going to have the fans. They're the first team in the Premier League that's going to have a full stadium for the first time in like 18 months or whatever it is. So they're going to be up for it, I think. I think they're going to be up for it. And Tony should be fine, according to the manager as well. So I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to be a bit different. Man United versus Leeds. So my boys kick off against Leeds. I'm not too confident about this one. I think it could be shaky. I think Leeds will score, but I think United will just edge it out. I think Xhaka's got the right idea. I think I'm going to go 2-1, maybe 3-1. Mata's gone 2-2. Sherry's gone 2-1. I was thinking 2-1. I was thinking 2-1, so I'm going to go with that. I just think that the preseason that we have had, it's been a lot of players that are peripheral, as it were. Yeah, I think that's I think we still should have enough to get it over the line. I think Sancho will probably come on for 30 minutes, maybe. I don't think he's going to start. No Varane, but Maguire's still there. Lindelof's there too. We'll have our back line basically from last season. De Gea will be in goal. It's just the midfield too that I'm worried about. That's what I'm concerned about. But Matic and Van der Beek have looked good. Whether Oli plays those two, I don't know. But Leeds basically have been training with pretty much the whole full team, like the full first team, for the last couple of games now. So they're ready. Burnley versus Brighton. Well, you want to go to the Garden Centre for this one, if it was on its own. But luckily you have Chelsea and Crystal Palace at the same time. I think Brighton and Burnley, this could be a 0-0. I think Sherry's got the point. I think it could be a 0-0. Personally, I think Brighton have had some injury concerns, but I don't think that's going to concern them too much because Burnley, I don't think you've even signed very many players. I did the team watch for them. I can't even remember. But actually, I think only up until yesterday, Newcastle was the only team to have not signed anyone, and they signed Joe Willock. So, yeah, if this is a 0-0. This is gonna be a 0-0. So, this is gonna be one of those ones where I'm gonna put it on in the background when I'm making up doing more graphics for another video or something like that, and not really gonna have to pay attention to it too much. Hopefully. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Now, what are we thinking about this one? Because for me, I think Chelsea could absolutely murder Crystal Palace. I don't think Lukaku's going to be playing. I think he's going to miss the first game. Because I think he's flying. He was either flying late today or tomorrow. But I don't think I think he has to potentially quarantine or something maybe. But I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be ready. He might be on the bench if he doesn't have to quarantine and stuff. He might be on the bench. It might be like a Jadon Sancho type thing where he's on the bench and then he comes on for 30 minutes or something like that. Maybe. If not, he'll definitely be fit for the other games. But that's why with Chelsea, you think he skips quarantine? Yeah, it's really weird. It's like whichever country you come from or something. I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. But I think Chelsea are going to beat Crystal Palace no matter what. I think Vieira's not been has the greatest historical record managing. Tuchel's got all of his pieces together. I don't think Ben Chilwell is going to play, but I think they should still be fine. Like Zach says, Havertz, Ziyech, who's been very good. Mount's come back. Timo Werner. They have players to obliterate them. So I'm going to go Chelsea, pretty comfortable. I'm going to go 3-0. I think it's pretty straightforward there. Now, Everton versus Southampton. I mean, Everton were dreadful versus United, and United was playing nowhere near their best team. They were playing nowhere near their best team. Now, I don't know if Calvert-Lewin's injured. Does anyone know if Calvert-Lewin's injured, or because he wasn't even on the bench versus United. He wasn't even on the bench. He has a foot injury. A knock, I think. Well, actually, you know where I think he might be? I'll show you where. He could be. He could be back here somewhere in Wembley. You think he's still back there? He could still be there with the England team. I don't know. I don't know if he's back there, or if they left him there. I don't know, but he might still be there because I didn't see him on the bench. But we'll have to see. I don't know where he was, but he might still be locked in Wembley somewhere. He's probably there potentially with Chilwell. I don't know. It seemed like a lot of the English players got a lot of time off. Now, if he's injured, he's injured. Cool. But, yeah. I think he might still be in Wembley, to be honest. Everyone's left, and they've just left the Chelsea players there. And DCL, randomly. But I think you'll see my Premier League predictions on Friday, but I think Southampton could be getting relegated. They don't have Danny Ings. They don't have James Ward-Prowse because he's injured. I'm just trying to figure out where they're scoring from. I just don't see it. I think Everton will win this game. Will they keep a clean sheet? Probably not. Honestly, I think this could just be a disappointing game. I think this is a 1-1 as well. I think both teams get a scrappy goal or something like that. I don't know. Mono's gone 1-0 Everton. I'm just not convinced, to be honest. I mean, Ward-Prowse is a decent set piece taker. Come on. I mean, he's not David Beckham, obviously. Let's not kid ourselves here. But yeah, when I swapped over the green screen, you guys could hear my headset mic, right? I think the Wembley sound was a bit loud, but I can always turn that down a little bit. But as long as you could hear the mic, me talking into the mic, then the green screen is going to get some good use this season. He's just a set piece taker. He's just a set piece taker. He takes yellow cards and, you know, whips in good set pieces. That's pretty much what he's there for. And run around a lot. That's all. That's all he's there for. Right. So I think it's going to be 1-1. I think that game's going to be a disappointment as well. Leicester versus Wolves. I could do that for 30k a week. Yeah, I mean, if you practice set pieces enough, yeah. Leicester versus Wolves. I think Leicester they're gonna blitz Wolves. I think Wolves, they seem to be quite attacking. Leicester might leak a goal, but I think Leicester ultimately they're just gonna pummel them. I think they have too much attacking threat. Their midfield is boss. You know, I think it's fine. Roja and Livramento to Southampton. Steal both academy players. Yeah, are they in the game yet? Let's see. Because I heard this Roja or Borja guy is pretty good. He's not in the game from what I can tell. Mind you, I've been hearing that Tella's been playing. Tella's been playing a lot. Up front, which is interesting. Like in a front two, which is really weird. And he's 5 million, so but if we know the price of this Roja guy, then he might be useful. I mean, he comes from the Chelsea Academy, he's probably good, to be honest. But yeah. But I think Leicester win this one comfortably. I think they might concede one, maybe. I'm going to go 3-1, to be honest. I think Leicester will probably do quite well. I think Wolves are trying to be a bit more attacking, which could leave them open at the back. And Leicester, they're not the team to give space in behind. Harvey Barnes, Jamie Vardy. Oh, look who just came off the bench. Ian Acho. Oh, look who also just came off the bench. Patson Daka. I mean, you're just asking to get burnt, basically. I think. Watford versus Aston Villa. Now, Watford in the Championship kept a lot of clean sheets at home. I think they kept... I think it was basically 6 out of every 10 games they kept a clean sheet at home, which is, it was like 61% or something like that, which is insane. It's really, really good. But Villa have a different attacking outlet. I think when Diaz should be fine. I think he's flagged at the moment. Watkins, they're not so sure. But Ings scored, so I think they should be fine. El Ghazi, you know, he got a penalty, so he's doing his thing. But he's not always going to be on the pitch, which means Ings could be taking up penalties as well. And yeah, I think Aston Villa should be quite comfortable here. I think Sherry's probably right. A 2-0 win, probably about right. Maybe they get one early. Maybe a little bit of nerves from Watford, and then they get one later. So yeah, I think 2-0 is probably about right. So I'm going to go with 2-0. I think that makes the most sense. I can see Ings potentially getting off the mark quite quickly. And then I can see potentially, you know, one of the wide players, whether it's Traore or, you know, someone like that getting involved. But yeah, that should be quite interesting. Norwich versus Liverpool. Now, if you know Liverpool's history, they are very, very good at beating Norwich. Very good. I think it's going to be a clean sheet. I think it's going to be comfortable. Norwich like to hang on to the ball a little bit more than what they did in the previous season. So before, they were more of like a just counterattack and go and give it to Pukki and hope he does something. Now they like to hold on to a little bit more, but that may have changed because Buendia's not there anymore. So that could hinder them quite a bit. I think they're probably one of my teams that are probably going to go back down. Sorry, Norwich fans. Will they provide value for FPL? I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think this is a pretty straightforward. I'm gonna go 3-0 personally on this one. Sherry's going with 4-0, and Zach is going with 3-0 as well. Newcastle versus West Ham. I think Newcastle have looked pretty good. You know, towards the end of last season. They're going to have Joe Willock coming into the team, who's looked very good for Arsenal in pre-season. I think they can cause West Ham problems, but I think West Ham are just going to have too much. Sherry's going with a 0-0, which is interesting. I think West Ham will definitely score. I think Newcastle will probably score as well. But I can see West Ham winning this one. I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 West Ham. I think both teams are going to score, but I think West Ham's going to win. So I'm going to go with a 2-1. Now, Spurs versus Man City. This one depends on which Kane shows up, in my opinion. If proper Harry Kane shows up, Spurs have a chance. If the Euros Harry Kane or the unfit Harry Kane shows up, I mean, do we need to go back to Wembley? Because he might still be there. He might still be there too. Is that where he was vacationing? I heard it was Florida, but it might have just been Wembley. We don't know. We might have to go back there. But I think City will win. Will they keep a clean sheet? Probably not. Maybe Son gets one on the break or something like that. Kane not playing anywhere. Man City win 2-1. Grealish scores. Yeah, I think that's probably about likely. Just depends on how Pep wants to play it. I'm actually going to go with a 1-0, actually. I'm going to go with a 1-0. I think this could be just like City get the, you know, hang on to the ball for a lot. They carve out a chance, and Spurs just have nothing down the other end because Kane's just mad and just wants to go to that team. And Son can't do it on his own versus actual good teams. I don't think. So, we'll have to see. On that one. Clean sheet for the week. I'm going to go with Liverpool. I'm going to go with Liverpool. I think it's pretty straightforward. Which is why I think Tsimikas could be a good differential. So, speaking of differentials, let me maneuver that. So, if we go to goalkeepers, what is Backman? How much owned is Backman? Backman, I'm going to go with Backman because a lot of people are going Sanchez, right? A lot of people are going Sanchez, so I'm going to go with Backman. He might pick up some saves. Well, that's who we'll go with as our differential keeper off the start. I think he could be okay. Mendy, yeah. I mean, he could be, but he's just a bit expensive, though. I think a lot of people are going Sanchez because it's just a clean sheets, but Backman may not necessarily keep clean sheets, but he might just get saves, which is, you know. Tsimikas, he's at 5.2%. We're going to go everything under like 10 to 15% because a lot of players are going to be randomly owned at the start of the season, so we'll go with Tsimikas because yeah, I mean and it was 2.6% and it was 5.2%. Do you agree with a 4.5 and a 4.5 keeper? Is that just a waste of money? I think it's a waste, honestly. You took the words right out of my mouth, Zaka. I'm going with Said Benrahma. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think he could be an absolute bargain at 6 million. He's been doing basically everything. And he reminds me of how Riyad Mahrez plays. He's all action. When he gets the ball, he's direct. He's involved in everything. He can shoot from outside. He gets in, he gets inside the box. And he feeds Antonio, which is exactly what I like. He's basically doing what Jesse Lingard was doing when he was on that tear. So, yeah, that could be interesting. And now, I believe Ings is going to be ridiculously owned. Yes, he's 21.8%, so can't really go there. Let's actually take a look at the forwards quickly. Oh, I have the notepad in the way at the moment. Let me just close that out of the way so you guys can see the forwards. Let's see, who do we got here? Yeah, Wilson's not highly owned. I think a lot of people are put off by Newcastle, but that's who I'll go with. I'll go with Wilson, just because I've had him in a few of my drafts. I think he could do quite well, and his fixtures off the start aren't terrible. West Ham at home, Aston Villa away, Southampton at home. He can get a goal or two in that. Obviously, the Man United fixture isn't great, but then he has a decent run of fixtures. Wolves, Watford, could be good. Crystal Palace, Spurs at the back don't convince me. Leeds could give them space. You never know. So, yeah. That is our predictions. So, I'm going to just post that in the chat. If it'll show it. It will, which is nice. So, I'm just going to minimize that and hide the notepad. There. So, yeah, that's our predictions. So, I think we could see some very interesting scores off the start. But yeah, I think the differential picks are starting to potentially break up the template just a little bit. So let me change my team back to what it was. So it wasn't Tsimikas, it wasn't Grealish, it was Buendia. Buendia and Digne. So this is what it was. This is what I had previously. And I think this is a good team. I think this team can do well. On paper, at least. But obviously, the lack of defense versus United's reserves kind of... Not really their reserves, but a lot of players that wouldn't normally play in the team. It's a bit scary. If you're Everton. I mean, they already don't like the manager. They do have good fixtures off the start, so they have to get off to a decent start. I mean, Southampton at home, you probably can't get much better than that to start off the season well, apart from a promoted team. You know, I mean, if you look, like, all the fixtures that they have is just pretty good all the way through here. I mean, they should get off to a good start. But obviously with Tsimikas coming in, it could change things. But I think the players that are assuming that they're fit going into the game week, I'm just going to go back to the transfer screen here. So the players that are staying in my team is Foster's definitely staying there because he's the cycling GK, and of course he's going to stay there. Sanchez or Bachman's going to be in there, one of those two, so I'll say a 4.5 million goalkeeper, so I'll keep Sanchez there for the time being. Digne's not necessarily going to stay there. Ayling's going to stay there probably as a 4.5 million defender. Trent's going to stay there, Shaw's going to stay there, and then some 4 million defender of some kind is going to stay there. Salah's going to stay there, Fernandes going to stay there, Ben Rama's going to stay there. Barnes, I want to say that he's going to stay there, but I'm not entirely sure. But I'll say that he's potentially up for... Let's just put in the nailed players. So Buendia is not necessarily going to stay there. If I stay with this formation, Obafemi is, but I'll take him out there. Because I might change it to, 3 up front. So those are the players kind of in question. The rest of the team, I think, is just, that's what it's going to be. It's just those 4 spots. So it's a matter of, do I put in Tony? What type of other midfielder do I want? Do I want to have a 5-5 defender? Do I want to do rotating defenders? Do I want to put in Tsimikas in there? What do I want to do? I think Ings, Antonio, Ben Rama, Fernandes, Salah, Shaw, Trent, Ayling, the goalkeepers, some 4.0 defender. I think all of those are going to be pretty nailed in there, to be honest. So it's just a matter of what I want to do. So the only things that I can do, before it was to check Robertson, but obviously Robertson, he could be out until just before or just after the international break, so he's going to miss the first few game weeks of the season. One thing I was also considering was Chilwell, but Chilwell might not play the first game either, so I don't know why people don't like Chelsea players in the start. Tuchel has showed to keep clean sheets and score against literally everyone. It's just who's going to play off the start. That's the problem. It's just who's going to play. Like, we need to see kind of like a couple of games. Like, so Chelsea's first 3 games is what? It's like they play Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Liverpool, something like that. Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Liverpool. Yeah, so those are their first 3, right? Rudiger and Mount pretty safe. See, Mount, I'm not even too sure. So, like, Lukaku comes in, right? Lukaku comes in up front, right? You play a 3-4-3. So you got your 3 center backs. You got Reece James at wing back or Azpilicueta. They're both going to play right-sided center back and right wing back probably. Chilwell's left wing back. You're going to have Jorginho and Conte as the 2 midfielders. And then you have to pick 3 players from Lukaku, Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, Abraham. We'll see he's playing in the Super Cup on Wednesday. Oh, right. That is on Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, we'll see. That could also just be kind of a whatever game, and he kind of plays whoever. But so what's that? That's Chelsea versus, is it Villarreal? Is that who it is? It's like the winner of the Champions League versus the winner of the Europa League. Is that how it works? Lukaku, Werner, Havertz, and then Mount. Villarreal, yeah. So it's the winner of the 2 European competitions. Interesting. Yeah, Lukaku's always going to play, and then it's going to be... And I guess you're going to play... I think most games, what's going to happen is... you're going to play Lukaku, Havertz, and Mount. Even though I think Werner could be the guy as the runner. You could have like Werner and Lukaku as a front 2. Werner does all the running, kind of like how Lautaro Martinez did for Inter. And then Lukaku just puts it in the net. And then Mount kind of just stays in the hole. And at times forms like a midfield 3. And you get also additional supply from Chilwell and Reece James. That's what I think could happen. So yeah, we will get some information. I mean, if Chilwell plays in that, then we should be okay. Werner against defending teams, Havertz against more attacking teams, probably. I would say Werner against more attacking teams, probably, because Werner can get him behind, because those teams are likely to play a higher line. I would say you probably want Havertz more to pick the lock, whereas you want Werner more if you're hitting them on the counter. So like if Chelsea plays City, I think Werner's probably your guy to get him behind and, you know, get with Lukaku and help them go 2v2 versus Stones and Diaz. That's what I think. Could be wrong though. Oh, the other way around. Yeah, I was just saying that makes more sense because Havertz has a bit more guile, a bit more craft. He's also very good in the air too. Havertz is deceptively tall. Good luck to you, Sherry. We'll also be back on Thursday for the deadline stream. I can't do it on Friday because I won't be home in time. So, I will have this, we will be doing a stream on Thursday, same time. But what I'll also be doing is I'll be premiering it over on YouTube as if it was a deadline stream. So, that'd be kind of fun if you wanted to watch it as if it was a deadline stream. So, we'll make sure to do that for you as well. But yeah, and then we also have our captaincy video tomorrow. My lineup preview. We got the content covered for this week. We'll try to make it. No worries. Like I said, you can always watch it over on YouTube because I'm gonna premiere it as if it was the deadline stream. So on YouTube. So yeah. But I mean, looking at this, if we go. Like, it's only really 4 slots I'm looking at, and it's basically like Tony comes in. We get a 4.5 in midfield in Brownhill. We can still get Barnes, and we can still get Digne. If we wanted to, really. That's basically what we can kind of do. If we wanted to keep Tony. Hey, Zodiac, how's it going? It's been a while. It has been a while. But yeah, I mean, we can do all that. We can do all of that. I really like Harvey Barnes. I like their opening fixtures. I think he could do well in the opening 3. I mean, they did really well versus City last time they played them. I mean, the opening 7, the only real difficult fixture is Man City. Opening 9, Man City and Man United are the only, 7 out of 9. You're looking at potentially some good returns there. And it's just a matter of Tony versus Buendia, maybe? But pretty good, but a bit tired. Started at work after 4 weeks vacation. Yeah, I have that towards the end of November. I have like 3 weeks straight in November. That's when the Final Fantasy XIV expansion comes out. So, I'll have to be pre-recording my videos and stuff for FPL. But I haven't decided if I'm going to stream that. But we do have a lot of crazy green screen stuff on that as well. So, that might be a bit of fun if anyone was interested in that. Maybe I can integrate some of the green screen stuff I have over there as well. Um, so, yeah. Let me just reset this back. But yeah, I would like for Buendia to play, because I think he's a very interesting prospect. I think he could link up quite well with Ings, and I think the double up is good. I like, and also the team. Look at the team. Look at the color coding of the team. Look at the color coding of the team. It's perfect. And if we put Bachmann instead of Sanchez, it would be even better. Watch, we could just do this. Get rid of Sanchez. Put Bachmann in there. Add. Make transfers. Boom. We have blue down the middle. Blue down the middle. You got your United on your left-hand side. Your Liverpool on your right-hand side. We got your Aston Villa and your West Ham streaks through the middle. We got blue all the way through the rest of the team. Beautiful. I think Buendia is ready for game week 1. I think he had just a little bit of a hip problem, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. The managers will do press conferences and stuff on Thursday or Friday, probably. But we'll see. If he's not, then I can always go Rafinha or whoever. I can go whoever I want, basically. But, yeah. I can just go whoever I want. I can go Rafinha, and then if I feel like... or if I feel like Tony, I can go Tony and just pick a 4.5. It's basically whatever. Basically, the players, like I said, that are pretty much nailed in there. Players that are pretty much... The only players that aren't really nailed in there is Buendia, obviously, if he's not fit. Obafemi could be a 6.5. Barnes and Digne could shift around. The rest is pretty much locked in, as it were. Unless something changes. I'm still toying around with the idea of Tsimikas in there. So we would play Ayling from game week 3 onwards. And then we can go for something a bit more up front, maybe. We can go like Wilson as an example. And have 5.5 left in the bank. And then drop down to like a Brownhill or somebody like that. And then off the start, we play our 3 forwards, our 4 in midfield, and then our double Liverpool with Shaw. And we'd have Ayling, Brownhill, and Omobamidele on the bench. And then if we need to shift on Tsimikas later on, we can do, if we need to. And we'd also have $1 million extra in the bank. So if we wanted to go... So in game week 4 comes around as an example, and we know that Tsimikas isn't going to play... We can go Ings down to Raul Jimenez, and then Tsimikas up to a 5-5 defender, with like a John Stones or something like that. Maybe is what we could do. So, how long is Robertson out? Either just before or just after the first international break. So either he's going to be ready for game week 3 or he's going to be ready for game week 4, probably. So that's either Chelsea or Leeds away. I actually quite like the look of this. The looks of this team. Although my color coordination's gonna get messed up. It's all ruined. Fine though. Yeah, I think that's something that we'll probably we could probably go with. That would be something, or maybe something like what I would go with for that. And then, like I said, from game week, if Tsimikas plays the first 2 games, then we're chilling because he looks pretty good, and that's all you really need him for, because he's $4 million after that, and you could sell him on afterwards. Norwich away, Burnley at home. Not much better than that. And if game week 3 he doesn't play, when Robertson comes back, we got Ayling for that. So I think we're okay. Actually, now that my symmetry is all off, we'll put Sanchez back in goal. Sanchez. Although I could get a 5.5 goalkeeper if I wanted to, but I think having the money in the bank is good. So the one nice thing I think though is that if Lukaku comes in at 10.5, we only need to get 1.5 million from somewhere. So it would be like a hit for something. So it'd be like Barnes down to a 6.5, Antonio or Wilson to a Tony, and then Ings up to a Lukaku if he was 10.5. If he was 10.5, but need to go to sleep now. It's 2 here. Just wanted to say hello. No worries. Like I said, we'll be back for our deadline stream not tomorrow, Thursday, which I'll also be posting these vlogs like I normally do over on YouTube. But yeah, I think that we're closing in on the hour mark. So let's move over to just one more time to mention our partners for the season. So, like I said, if you haven't done so already, Fantasy Football Scout. Make sure to check it out. I'm going to post the link in the chat if you haven't done so already. It's also pinned on my Twitter. It's also in the description of every YouTube video. You get 20% off, and it's going to help elevate your fantasy football game if you haven't done so already. New tools coming this season too. 3-player comparison tool, all that sort of stuff. Live data dashboard, so it's kind of like live FPL, sort of, I think, from what I get the gist of it. And yeah, the rate my team tool, all that sort of stuff. Make sure to check it out. Use that link, and it helps me out, it helps you out, and it can help elevate your fantasy Premier League game. So let's move over to the big screen. So that is going to do it for Game Week 1, the preview for Game Week 1. If you haven't done so already, make sure to give us a follow here. Also, Agbo Steve 1 Diamonds is cool, and Jamaican Milio and Pickle Marin. Those were the 4 that followed while we were offline, I believe, on our very last stream or when we were on FIFA or something. I couldn't remember if I shouted you out, but if I haven't, there you go. Thank you for the follow. Make sure to go subscribe over on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Make sure to give us a follow over on Twitter. Join our FPL League as well. It's in the Twitter bio. And we'll be back tomorrow with a video over on YouTube. One on Wednesday as well. The deadline stream on Thursday, and our Premier League predictions on Friday. So we usually put a little bulletin to let you know what videos and streams we're doing throughout the week. All the streams this season are going to be here, locked and loaded for FPL for preview deadline streams. And if you guys are interested in maybe I do some gaming streams as well when Final Fantasy 14 comes out, just let me know. And I'll definitely do those because that's quite interesting. And we have some, like I said, we have the interesting green screen stuff going on too, as you guys saw in the stream. So let me know if you like that. I can add more stuff, and we can do a bunch of fun stuff with that. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and until the next one, take care.